Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Pretty Ninja Racing here on YouTube. My name is Anders, and I'll be your host for this evening's race. And this evening is round 3 of the PNTCC Season 4. We've changed cars now to the actual BTCC mods that are available out there. I've had a few sound issues, and all seems to be going well at this moment in time, but we'll have to wait and see if we do come across any issues. Whether we stick to these cars for the future, I don't know yet. We will find out. We'll see how it all goes. Everyone seems to have gone for the Alpha because it seems to be a little bit OP. So a hefty BOP will have to be applied to those if we do stick with them. But as you can see on screen is our current championship leader, Monsieur Jamski, who's leading away right now with 68 points. Only 3 points behind, though, is Jay Skyring in the standings. Mayer in P3, Butler P4, Sobek in P5, 66 in P6. And remember, this is a 2-race event. 2 10-minute races with reverse grid. Which position, only I know. Would help if I selected the right broadcast screen. There we go, that's better. So we're just watching the cars go around for free practice. Hello, Mayor. Hello, Jamski. Hope you're all doing well. Kick Lloyd voting in progress. Excellent stuff. Glad to see that people are messing about already. Shouldn't get kicked. If he does, it'll be rather annoying. Because he is our championship leader. And I will literally just cancel the whole event. Not passed. Good. I would rather there be 4 people in than people mucking about, because some people like to take this a little bit more seriously. It's the only series that we do, which, to be fair, the community does kind of take quite seriously. The racing is very, very close, over 10 minutes. It's aggressive, it's tough, and it's very, very difficult to get a race victory here. So where is Jay Skyring on track? There he is again in the Alpha. Only 3 points behind Jamski in the table. And got the fastest lap time in the free practice server prior to today's race. So we'll have to wait to see how Skyring handles the rather busy grid we have today here at Croft. They were able to get sub 1:24s. So this will be around about an 8 lap race with a reverse grid in between. We do have a few new names in today or so. Porter Smith has joined the PNTCC tonight as well. Torrico is back. Thurs is back in the Audi. Not quite sure why the Audi's got a different logo compared to the rest of them. I'm going to assume that actually, yeah, that's actually the World Touring car logo, I think. Maybe. I'm not sure. I'll have to get that checked out at some point. Should all be BTCC. Mayer is also in tonight in the Andy Prio BMW. Let's go on board with Mayer actually whilst he does a flying lap. Fast T1 into a fake T2 into a long T3. Need to get back on the power as quick as you can. Really use the width of the circuit. Flat through the chicane. Up towards the right hand bumpy hairpin. Can't quite see it at this camera angle. Let's see if there's another one. That kind of works. Hard on the brakes, and you'll see the bump midway through. There it is. It's very hard to get the accelerator on, but pretty good here by Mayer. Not too many clever cameras for the BMW car by the looks of it. Flat through here. Hard on the brakes into a double right-hander. Carrying a lot of speed. Really pushing the car to its absolute limits. That's the fastest arm I have ever seen. He's changing gear. Oh, and just loses the rear end. Just carrying a bit too much speed there. Didn't look the tidiest of laps for Mayer. Could have been a bit better, I think. But just needs to be a bit smoother. The gap at the top, as you can see on the leaderboard, the top three only split by 2 tenths. 66 is in tonight. Probably hoping to get some good points on the board. And the Alpha is looking rather sharp, to be fair. Not like it was in real life. And the Alpha didn't do particularly great in the BTCC. So whoever made this mod clearly was a bit of a fan of them. And Smith, the brave guy, is currently driving the Toyota, I believe. There we go. One of the longest cars, which makes it incredibly difficult to overtake around a circuit such as Croft, and he kind of locks it up there for the last corner. It's a different style of driving you need to do for these touring cars. 30 seconds left on the clock. Lloyd has stopped. Butler tonight is also in the Alpha, I believe. There he is. And Mark Coulson right now in P5. Looking rather racy again in an Alpha. There is a lot of Alphas tonight. It's going to be hard to make out who is who. As the free practice session comes to a close. Gives you a rough idea of what people are doing, but realistically, it also gives you absolutely no idea. And Mole is in tonight as well. Good on you, Mole. Also drying the Alpha after probably some advice from J Sky. It's a shame he's going to get nerfed, really, isn't it? Such a shame, such a shame. Or whether we move to what we used in Season 3 without the Hyundai. Not getting comfortable with this car at all. Says Mayor in chat. Have you softened the rear anti-roll bar? Next week BTCC2, possibly. Last season we used the early versions of the World Touring cars. So like the Peugeot and things like that. So might go back to those. It all depends on if I get any audio issues today through the stream with these cars. It's taken a lot of effort just to get these working. And the fact that everyone's driving an Alpha is a little bit, pointless. Whereas in the before then, when we were using the new World Touring cars, everyone was in slightly different motors and it was creating quite good racing. What more can you find at PNR? Well, let me tell you. We have our GT2 World Championship, which happens on Sunday evenings. Tonight, you're watching the Touring Car Championship here on Pretty Ninja Racing YouTube. On Wednesday night, it's the Porsche Multi-Class. So make sure you check out the link in the description below and get yourself signed up for that one. Just trying to get my list of results up so I can do any admin stuff that I can during the events, whilst telling you exactly what's going on in the next couple of races. So the GT2s, whenever it pops back up. In fact, let's go back to the Porsches. Porsche Multi-Class is at Estoril on Wednesday night, 8:30 GMT. Make sure you get yourself signed up for that one. And the GT2 World Championship are heading over to Portugal, Estoril, for some... No, sorry, St. Petersburg. Sorry, I'm getting it completely backwards. St. Petersburg, going stateside. And we'll see how they go. So we have drivers out on track, all battling for track position to get a clean lap time in. I think Skyring's just heading round here. I think he's going to be the first one over the line as we head back. And what we'll do, we'll put Skyring in the hot seat. He is chasing Jamsky after all, or Lloyd. So let's go on board. That's a terrible camera angle. That's a bit better. Not much better, but it's a bit better as Skyring goes over the timing line now. And now we are on the flying lap. Deep into T1. Cutting the corner nice there for getting T2 through T3. Carry as much speed as you can. Back on the power nice and early. The Alpha's looking very stable. Too stable if anything. Although I know that these boys have been working on their subs quite a lot. Hard on the brakes into the right hand hairpin. Bumpy right hand hairpin. It's very easy to spin up the wheels there. There we go. Really pushing the car to its limits. And then flat out through these next series of corners for the S's. Flat. Flat. Open up the next corner as wide as you can. Flat again. Getting the car nice and straight. Ready for the hard braking zone into the double right hander. Not bad this by Jay Skyring. Getting back on the pressure, using the gears well to not spin the front tyres up. For the awkward left-hander into a very tight right-hander on the back end of the circuit. A lot of overtaking can happen here. But also is rather easy to defend around Croft Circuit. And now we're back onto the main straight. Jay Skyring has got across the line and set a 1:23.7. That's a great start. Smith is going to be next over the line with a 1:25.1. Horter is next over the line. No time stated. Mole is going to be next over the line with a 1:27. Thurs comes over 1:27.6, and it looks like someone has binned it into the wall. And Mayer is still not having a great time with the BMW. I believe the BMW is the only rear-wheel drive touring car on the grid. I believe. I could be wrong. The lap times are coming in thick and fast. Butler is in P2. Lloyd is in P3. A whole half a second behind Skyring. It all depends on if Lloyd's got clear track, and he does have clear track. Around the hairpin he goes. Nice out of the exit there. Good bit of power being applied there. It's just whether Lloyd can put a lap together. Skyring currently P1, 66 however. Is in P4, Smith P5, Torrico in P6, we're just coming around the back section now, still slightly slower, and the cars are lining up in the way. They need to get moving. They're all waiting for track position. It's a busy circuit, and Lloyd's time is probably going to be a little bit hampered there. It's over the timing line, no real improvement there. So Lloyd currently still knocked off the top spot. 66 moves into P2 with a 1:23.8. Mayer moves up into P8 with a 1:26.9. It's very hard to choose who is going to be doing what. Mole is in P9 having a bit of an off, or back in the pits now. And we have a Honda Civic coming over the timing line now. I'm guessing that's Zach. Zach has just come through the timing line. Using plenty of width in the circuit. Through they go. Jay Skyring is still sitting pretty in P1. 66 in P2. Butler is in P3. Got a bit of traffic ahead of them, so I'm not sure if he's realistically going to get much of a chance to improve his lap time. He's going to be held up a little bit. No, not real improvements there. Lloyd is trying to get some slip behind another Alpha, but again, it's not really, well, it has worked for him, apparently, because he's now moved into P3, only 0.04 of a second behind 66, but is still 3/10 behind the man in top spot. Not quite sure what that Alpha is doing there. Not quite sure who that is, really. So Urso, yeah, it looks like Urso. I'm not quite sure what Urso was doing there. He ran wide, should have just let Jamski through. Jamski getting on with it, as you can see. Skyring is off the circuit, probably going back into the pits. There we go. Smith is also stopped on circuit. P5 currently for Smith in the Toyota. Not bad at all. Porter is still yet to set a lap time in the Rob Austin Alpha. And Zach is also yet to set a lap time. 2 minutes left of qualifying to go, so anything can happen quite yet. You can see Lloyd's just gone round the final corner. What sort of lap time is Horter going to be able to set? He's looking quicker than Urso, so I'm thinking in the 126, 125s. 126.1, not far off. 66 has gone off and is going to get straight back out, I think. Torrico is also coming straight back out. Thurs is in the pits with a 127.1 right now. Mole, first PNTCC race, currently P10. Urso now moves into the pits. Now where is Lloyd? Lloyd is here. He's apparently not had the best sector one. Apparently he's not had the best sector one. Locking up that rear right. Oh, he's pushing so hard to try and get those 3 extra attempts, but that lap time from Skyring at the very beginning was just too tasty. Very smooth. No traffic. But each lap we're going, Lloyd's tyres are getting worse and worse and worse, so the grip levels are going to be falling. Over the timeline he comes, no improvements. Last chance saloon for everybody now. We're within the last minute of the race. Horter moves up into P7. Coulson drops to 8th. Is there any improvement for Coulson? Mole is in P9. Mayer P10. Thurs P11. Sacker in P12. Urso in P13. Myself in P14 apparently. Jay Skyring is still pushing, trying to get some more lap times. His last lap time was, wow, in fact it was his best lap time so far, and I don't really see that being much of an improvement, so as in, didn't seem to improve too much. 66 is also in the last chance saloon. Lloyd is coming around the back end of the circuit, and to be honest I don't see much going on. Mole is finished, he's finishing in P9. Urso is P13, Coulson in P8 currently, Smith in P5. We're keeping an eye on Lloyd. Skyring's gone off, no improvements, so into the pits he'll go. Oh, and Lloyd's pulled back, so that's it. That's Lloyd P3. Ken 66 nicked the top spot. Where is Butler? Butler is still coming round, so 66 might be able to knock Skyring off the top spot. It's qualifying is so important here at Croft, and 66 has lost it. He's binned it. So that's the end of the road for 66. What about Butler? Apparently he's still a little bit slower. And he's also ditched it. So that's Lloyd and Butler in third and fourth. Thirst in P11 and Sack in P12. Who is currently still going round in the Honda Civic. And Jordan's Honda Civic, to be precise. And Thirst is really pushing as well. So these two are battling for position right now. Sack comes over the line, P12. Thirst is safe in P11. So Jay Skyring is your pole sitter today. It's a bit of an awkward camera, isn't it? Can't really see anything. Let's see if I can just get it to a point like that. So Jay Skyring is P1, 66 is P2, Lloyd in P3, Butler in P4, Smith P5 in the Toyota, Torrico in P6 in the Alpha, 7th for Horta in the Alpha, Coulson 8th in the Alpha, Spall, aka Mole, is in P9 in the Alpha. It's a nice fence, Connor, you're right. Mayer in P10, struggling with the BMW around the circuit. Thurs in the Audi, which I believe is actually the 2022 WTCR car, but we'll see. Not sure, even though it's Hill, so maybe not. So maybe not. And we're now on the grid. And we're going to switch to TV cameras. We will keep an eye on 66 here in P2. The cars are side by side here at Croft, so you have to get a good start, otherwise you're going to get swallowed up. Jamski's got the inside line, so might be able to muscle his way through. Skyring has to get a good launch for this to work. If we take a look, there we go, Skyring. We can hear everyone. 10 minutes of racing. Reverse grid. In race 2, Smith's got the lights on, he's ready to go. And here come the red lights. 1 light, 2 light, 3 light, 4 light, 5 lights, 6 lights. And off we pop for round 3 of the PNTCC. 66 got a great start on Jay Skyring there. Needs to get himself across the circuit. But Jay's just covering the inside enough. Is it going to be Carnage? 66 has dived round the outside and got into P1. Everyone so far surviving round T1. Lloyd is a bit of a victim. Butler's moved into P3. So we go on board with Lloyd. We can see he's fallen down to P4. Torrico in P5. Smith P6. Horton P7. Mole in P8. Looks like Urso and Sack are having a nice little battle in P12. Little bit of a love tap there by Lloyd as someone tried to look down the inside. That would be Torrico. Smith is also now on the rear end of Torrico, going to be putting him under a little bit of pressure. Mayer's moved up to P9, Coulson P10, Thurs in P11. But it's whether our current championship leader can do anything, and it looks as though the battle for P1 is really hotting up. Lloyd is also all over the rear end of Butler ahead of them. It's just whether you can get by in this circuit. Mayer locking up, no, not Mayer, sorry, 66 locking up the front left, defending the inside line around the last hairpin. Skyring needs to be careful. If he tries and takes the wide line, he could very well be forced out and get a bad run on the exit of the corner with a car behind. Mayer moves up to P12. Torrico's fallen down to P13. So an instance clearly happened there. Smith is in P6 as well, and Horta's moved up to P5. So clearly there was a moment in the background which we didn't quite see. As they fly through the chicane, it doesn't really exist. And it's all about getting a good haul of points in race 1, because they don't know where the reverse grid is for the rest of the race. Mark Coulson in P8, currently putting Mole under pressure. Mole's first PNTC race, and Coulson completely outbrakes himself. Don't know where Coulson was going then, but completely outbraked himself and fell down to P11. That made my throat hurt trying to say that then. I was so surprised. That kind of threw me right off. Lloyd in P4. Let's head back to the front 4 action. Everyone else is relatively spread a little bit, only by a second, but the top 4 all within 2 seconds of each other realistically. And Lloyd just needs to drive smart, put Butler under a bit of pressure, but he's got to be aggressive. He's got to make moves where it counts. 66 crosses over the line to start lap 2. Skyring second, Butler third, Lloyd fourth, Horter still fifth, Smith in sixth, Sport in P7, Thirds in P8, Zach in P9. Jamski's really trying alternative lines here to put off Butler. Urso in P10, Colson down in P11, Mayer in P12, and Torrico in P13, currently in the pits, possibly thinking that a reverse grid is at the back, and it's not today. It is not at the back. It could be anywhere between P1 and 12. So it's not a case of I sit in the pits and I get P1 next race. It's not going to happen. You'll start right at the back again. And Lloyd is all over Butler. Hard on the brakes. Butler runs a little bit wide. Jamski's looking down the inside. The nose is kind of there. And J-Sky is also trying to dice with 66 up ahead. So these two are losing a lot of time here. They either need to work together or just battle it out for P3. And I think it's going to be battle it out for P3. I don't think these two are going to work together at all. But Horter, whilst this is happening, is slowly getting in on the action. Skyring with the fastest lap of the race so far at 23.7. It's really amping the pressure up on 66. And you can see the corners where Lloyd wants to carry just that extra bit of speed. As Butler runs wide, giving Lloyd the ample opportunity now to really be aggressive down into the hairpin. Can he make a move stick, whether it's down the inside or down the outside? Not trying it quite yet here. Doesn't quite feel comfortable enough. You can clearly see there are specific parts of the circuit where Lloyd is quicker than Butler. But Butler's doing just enough to hold him off. Very good dicing by the pair. It's whether Jamski gets a little bit rougher. This is touring cars, rubbing his racing at the end of the day. Let's take a look at the front too. Lloyd is actually looking a little bit dicier coming into the rear apex. And Lloyd has tried to go round the outside, and he's going to have the inside line into the hairpin. What a move by Lloyd. And he's got it done. What an absolute great move by Lloyd. Being brave, round the outside, moves up into P3. Much needed points here. Especially with Skyring being the challenger currently at the top of the table. 3.5 seconds is the gap. It's just whether Lloyd can actually hold off Butler now. The tables have turned. And Skyring is really putting on the pressure onto the race leader. 66 goes defensive. Skyring's got a much better line, but 66 just puts his car in the right place to stop Skyring from being able to accelerate out of the hairpin. Great dicing by the pair, but I've got a funny feeling Skyring has just got far too much pace for 66, but this is race management all over for 66. Just got to put his car in the right spot, and the more they battle, the better it is for Lloyd and Butler. The rest of the field is fairly spread out. Horter still in 5th, Smith in 6th, Spall in 7th. Great race for Spall so far. Thirds in 8th, Colson P9, Mayer P10, Urso P11, and Zach in P12. And Torrico back out of the pits, but 2 laps down, so clearly had a bit of damage after having an incident with someone. It's gonna happen around Croft. It's a very thin circuit, but it's very racy. And you can see Lloyd has just set a personal best of the race, but it's a little too late in my opinion with 2 minutes left to go. If we're lucky, we might have 2 more laps after this one, if we're lucky. And I say that because I really hope there are 2 laps after this one. And I will tell you the reverse grid number in just a moment. Skyring is holding back away from 66. Remember, it could be anyone in the top 12 that could be on the front row of the grid. Gets all reversed, and then the rest continues as normal. Skyring seems to have been looking after his tyres a little bit. Maybe they were getting a little bit overheated, or he realised that all this battling with 66 was allowing Lloyd to catch up. And to be fair, Lloyd has got it down to 3 seconds now. Now is Skyring gonna just dive it down the inside? No, he isn't. He's being quite respectful. But in that part of the circuit alone, Lloyd almost gained half a second. And we are only going to... Well, we are going to get another lap after this one. So there's this and one more. Lloyd has just set the fastest lap of the race for 23.7. It's just whether there is enough time for Lloyd to come in and pip ahead of Skyring. That's what he really needs. And it's only the top 12 that get points as well. So it's only the top 12 drivers that get points in this league. And Skyring, I'm not quite sure, has quite got the answer for 66. I think he is fully aware that there is a red Alpha chasing him down at the rate of knots. Or 66 may have just found that extra little bit of pace come towards the end of the race. And Skyring driving for a very good result here. Porter is having a good race in P5. Smith is having a great race in P6. Mole is having a great race in P7. And Skyring doesn't quite have the answer to 66. And I don't think Lloyd has got enough in the tank, and there's going to be one more lap of this epic racing. So if anything's going to happen, it needs to happen this lap. One mistake can throw it away. One collision can throw away for both of them. Got to get those points in the bag. Coulson just sets a PB for his race so far. 66, a little bit of a lock-up, but easily handled. Bit shallow coming out, bit slow coming out. Lloyd is absolutely pushing in the background. Probably get a track cut for that one. He's just not close enough, sadly. Butler held him up for long enough to help Skyring out in the championship. And Skyring's bumped 66, sorry. Like I said, all it will take is one incident, one collision between the both of them, and Jamski could nick this win. And 66 ran a bit wide there. Oh, he's hit the tyre wall. And Skyring, he's got the inside line into the last corner though, but Skyring, oh, and there's another collision. A bit of door rubbing. And I think 66 might just rescue this, although it is a drag race to the line. I think Skyring's going to get this. He is. Skyring gets the race win in race 1. All because 66 was too tentative around the right-hander, hitting the tyre wall. And handing that race to Skyring. The pressure just got to him. Skyring P1, 66 P2, Lloyd P3. Butler gets P4, Horter and P5, Smith gets P6. Good race for Smith. In P7. I don't know why I'm having such difficulty with that name. It's not exactly hard. Coulson in P8, Thurs in 9th, Mayer in P10, and Urso will be rounding us off in P11, and Zach in P12. Now, the reverse grid is going to start from P6. So Smith will be in first, Horter will be second, Butler third, Lloyd fourth, 66 in fifth, Skyring sixth, and then the rest of the grid will follow up in a line and tandem. So Skyring was your race winner. Let's just do a nice little spinny around him. There we go. So it's only a minute between the two races, so it shouldn't take too long now. But Skyring was your race winner for race 1. 66 P2, he'll be kicking himself. Lloyd in P3, Butler P4, Horter P5, Smith P6, going to be P1 for race 2. Spool in P7, Coulson P8, Thurs P9, Mayer P10, Urso P11, Zachary, or Sack in P12, Torrico in P13, and Sobek and Rapper did not start. So Smith in the bright orange Toyota will be leading the way in race 2. Oh, let's move me away now. There we go, TV cameras. There we go, Smith is on the front of the grid in the Dyno Jet Toyota. Race 2 is always absolutely carnage. Whether Horter and Smith can get a good start off the line is what is important. The rest of the field haven't moved, and Smith is going to have to do a lot of defending, I feel, because he's got the likes of Lloyd, 66 and Skyring all behind him, and here are our red lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And off we pop for round 3, race 2. Not a bad start by the Toyota. Jamski has also got a great start. So has Butler. Coming into T1. Let's see if there's any deaths in race 2. Oh, and there is a massive amount of death in the background. That's Mayer. That's Mayer, Thurs, Coulson, all plunging it into T1. All trying really hard to get up through the field. Butler is in P3, so they're pretty much the top 6 are exactly how they started. Butler is trying to put Horter under pressure and gets the move done nice and early. Jamski needs to be doing the same if he wants to get the race win and get those maximum points. 66 is getting his own back on Skyring as they go currently through the S's. And Butler just nips ahead of Horter. But Croft always causes carnage at turn 1. It's whether Butler can do anything more. Jamski is looking to get some moves done nice and early, and he needs to. Needs to get the moves done nice and early to be able to put pressure on Butler and Smith. Smith is defending really hard. Jamski's gone down the inside, pushing Horter a little bit wide, but completely fair. And moves up into P3. Torrico moves up into P7. Now Butler has the red alpha of Jamski all over his rear end again. And Smith just needs to keep driving as he's driving. He's doing really well here to withstand the pressure of the massive train of cars behind him all the way down to P8. Oh no, and Jamski's gone! He's hit the tyre wall, and that's going to destroy the front left suspension. That's thrown the championship wide open there. And that's going to be an absolute gut-wrenching feeling for Lloyd. However, at the front, we have Butler really pushing against Smith now. But can Smith just hold the line? Butler's even off the track trying to get by, but it's not going to work. He needs to be careful. He's going to get those track cuts if he's not too careful. And once again, the race/championship undoing is all on Jamski's own. Skyring moves back past 66, coming into the final section of the Croft circuit. And Smith driving a really nice line there. Really opening the corner up to get a nice bit of speed out. Spool moves up into P8 past Sack. And Jamski's car is going to be heavily damaged. Smith currently with the fastest lap of the race. Not sure that's strictly true. I think there's going to be some faster peeps out there right now. But he's doing very well to hold off Butler. And Butler is looking incredibly racy. He's thirsting for that second P&R race victory. And Smith is defending really well here. Really good defending here by Smith. Great drive in the Toyota. And then there's a massive train of Alphas behind him. Six minutes left to go. It's going to feel like a lifetime as Skyring gets into P3 past Horter. Horter falls down into P4. Still a very good drive for Horter. 66 needs to get going. Skyring is only making his championship prospects better. Lloyd is in P11 right now, having to make some games. And Smith is still in P1. Skyring moves up into P2 and gets a nudge by Butler. And off he goes. Butler and Skyring are off. 66 and Horton move up the field. And there was a proper little battle going on between Butler and Skyring. And who's got the inside line? Skyring, but Butler's got the run. 66 now with the new fastest lap of the race over 25.1. It moves into P3. And Skyring falls back down into P5 with all that work to do again. Good news for Lloyd. Needs to get better. 66 moves into P2. Smith doing what he needs to do. He's almost a second ahead of 66 right now. And it's exactly what he needs. He needs Horter and everyone else to give him a bit of a battle as Horter defends in the inside to P3. Holding up Butler, Skyring, Torrico, Urso. You can just see Skyring is all over the rear end, or is that Butler? Sorry, I think that's Butler all over the rear end of Horuso, and he's lost out to Skyring. Must have locked up the front left or front right. Couldn't quite get the car turned in, and Skyring just pips ahead of Butler. And Smith is back on the defensive duties yet again. He's only 4 attempts ahead of 66. Doing very well to hold off this pack of Alphas behind him. What a great drive by Smith. Definitely worthy of the race victory if he can get it. 66 with the new fastest Alpha, 124.6. It's really starting to open up now. Lloyd is up into P10, getting those much needed points in. Each point could be very valuable come the end of the series. He just ate too much curb and just hit the tyre wall earlier, Lloyd. And Butler is on the charge against Horter. Skyring is now back up into P3. Mayer moves into P12. Coulson down to P13. Out of the points range for Coulson. And Torrico, after a terrible race 1, is in P6 currently. Only half a second behind Butler. And Smith is driving a really good race here. Come on, Smith. And Skyring is looking to nip at the heels of 66, just like he did in race 1. 3 minutes left on the clock. It'd be very harsh on Smith to not get a podium this race. 66 is incredibly close to the tyre wall yet again. Smith doing exactly what he needs to do on that last corner. Exactly what he needs to do. Park the car in the middle of the circuit. Really good defensive drive here by Smith. And now Skyring is looking to try and capitalise on 66, who runs wide in T1 but just about gets the job done. Gets the car round. 66 is really pushing. Once again, some great racing here at PNTCC. And Skyring is really trying to challenge for P2. Trying to look around the outside, try and get on the power earlier. Let's get through the S's. Smith just needs to keep doing what he's doing. 2 minutes left on the clock, 2 laps left. Actually, no, it could be a little bit longer than that, you know. And 66. Oh, was looking to get down the inside, and I think he might have the job done. He's got the inside line. Smith is going to try and defend, but there's nothing that he can really do. And Smith falls down into P2. 66 is up into P1. And Smith is just placing the car in the wrong spot. He needs to make sure he stays ahead of Skyring. Keep the inside line into the hairpin. And Skyring's now around the outside of Smith. But Smith has got the inside line. He needs to get a much better exit, which he has done. He needs to try and get back across if he can. He can't. There's not enough room there. Skyring is going to have the inside line. He's got to be brave here, Smith. And sadly, he just can't do it. Down to P3 Smith goes. Be very harsh if he loses out. But Skyring runs wide. 66 now got a 1.2 second gap at front. The largest it's been all race. And Smith and Horter in P4 is now looking to have a go as well. He's like, I want some, please. Looking down the inside, and Horter's lost the rear end. Just about holds onto it, though. And Butler and Torrico are now battling for P5. Torrico's having a much better race 2 compared to race 1. As they go 3 abreast. What are they doing? And Torrico's gone. Oh, I'm not quite sure what they were doing there. Torrico's fallen down the wayside there. What are they doing going 3 abreast through there? Absolute nutters. But what this has done is given Smith just that extra little brief room. He's got one more corner to go. And he'll get his podium. 66 is going to take the race victory. Skyring second. Owen Smith, I believe his name is going to be coming over the line to take P3. Very well deserved podium there. Horter in P4, Butler in P5, Torrico holds on to P6, Spall in P7, Urso is in P8, currently being drag raced to the line by Jamski. But sadly, Jamski only grabs on to P9 of his own doing. Zach, it takes P10. Coulson managed to get back to P11. Thurs in P13, and Mayer falls down to P13. Sorry, Thurs got P12. Mayer got P13. What a second race, ladies and gentlemen. Let's be honest. What an amazing race. So whilst we're waiting for the standings to update on the World Sim Series website, let me tell you a little bit more about some more events that we have on Pretty Ninja YouTube coming up. The GT2 World Championship is heading stateside, to St. Petersburg Street Circuit. Should be a very good 45-minute race for that one. Link in the description if you want to get involved. Pretty Ninja Touring Cars. I'm not entirely sure where they are next week. I will find out. Nürburgring. They're at the Nürburgring next Monday at 8:30 GMT. Make sure again, check the link in the description to get involved. And the Porsche Multiclass are heading to Portugal to Estoril Circuit. We've got the 911 Sprint Series and the Cayman GT4s. Connor in chat says Jam really is his worst enemy. He really, really is. He had far too much of that chicane corner and he completely binned it for himself. Oh, Jamski. But that opens the series wide open, really. We just got to wait for the results to be finalised, confirmed. And we will be good to go. I think it's Owen Smith. It's Owen Smith. Have I got P3? Let's have a click on his name. Ollie Smith. Apologies, Ollie. Ollie Smith gets P3 in the PNTCC. Great result. Fastest lap time in race 2 goes to 66 with a 124.204. And in race 1 went to Lloyd with a 123.736. So we'll just wait, like I said, for the last 2 people to leave, which is Mole and Urso. Now remember, only the top 12 gets points. So, well, but carried through. So if you were within the top 12 in the first race, you still get points. If you're in the top 12 in the second race, you still get points. The guide is together, and that's how many points you take away with you. And it looks like the results are finalized. results. Let's have a quick look. No results. Standings. Standings are currently updating. I think I'm a little bit ahead of the curve. There we are. Oh, that looks very interesting. Let's take a look, shall we? So that one is this one. Here we go. You ready for this? So the standings have opened right up. Jay Skyring's now at the top of the leaderboard of 128 points. Lloyd, after hitting the tyre wall through the chicane, falls down in P2 with 109. A whole 19 points behind. Butler moves into P3 with 81.66 in P4 with 76. Not quite 66 points, but 76. Mayer moves up into P5 to get 70 points. Ollie Smith gets 51 points over the course of the two over the two P&R events that they've managed to get involved in. Great race drive in race 2. Sobek is in P7. Coulson is in P8 with 36 points. Torrico in P9 with 33. The middle of the pack of this grid, of this board, is looking rather tight right now. Horter in P10 with 28. Cole couldn't make it tonight, but that would have been another contender for the race victory today. Has 23 points to their name. Mole, with their first race in the PNTCC, has got 16 points. Good haulage right there. And Urso, who also raced tonight, and Thurs have 8 and 6 points respectively. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That was race 3 of the PNTC. Make sure you join us on Wednesday for the Porsche multi-class event here on Pretty Ninja YouTube. Make sure you click the link in the description below to get involved in that, whether you're a rookie or an amateur license. You can get involved. Mate in chat says, too bad someone got late on his brakes into T1. Red front and rear damage after that. Yeah, it looked like absolute carnage at the race 2 race start. Did not look fantastic. We can have a quick look at the replay actually, I think, can't we? Let's have a wee look-see. Let's take a look at the race start for race 2, because it was carnage. So let's just pause it right here. Let's find Mr. Mayer, who got caught up in all of the action in today's race. In fact, where's helicopter mode? It's a helicopter? Can I use helicopter? Hang on one sec. Helicopter. Okay, cool. Let's go. So this is Mayer here in the white and orange BMW. Race start hasn't quite started just yet. Let's skip along a little bit. It's usually about a minute. Here we go. Race start happens. Great start by Mayer. Immediately getting the 2 alphas in front. And we'll just see what carnage unfolds going into T1. Oh, it's a squeeze effect. 3 going into 1. Both of the alphas just not giving, I think that was Thurs in the Audi, any room. These 2 alphas just squeezed him tight. And sadly, Mayer was collateral damage. Who are they? Let's have a little look. So that's Torrico there. So Torrico's on the outside, who sadly gets a little bit collected as well. Mayer, Butler, Lloyd. Coulson is in that mix there. I think that's Coulson right there. Thurs is in the Audi right here. Sack, Urso, Rapper, and Spool is also right here. So it's just 3 going into 1. Was never going to work. But there we go. Moles in chat. I got tagged in my left rear. Now, if we want to dissect it a little bit more, it's just 3 cars going into 1. You can see this car at the top slowly drifting inwards, trying to keep the toe behind Mayer. And it's just putting pressure on the Audi. Everyone had every right to be where they were. But sadly, everyone was slowly drifting into the middle. ever so slowly, which sadly just caused the chain reaction and Mayer just gets collected. To be honest, that's just a racing incident. I don't think it's anyone's particular fault. It just needs to be a little bit more aware with what's going on the circuit. Radar definitely would have helped in that situation for all three involved. But yeah, there's the moment that Mayer's race got destroyed. However, one major incident that happened in race 2 was Lloyd. And we're going to skip it on a little bit, as we literally will play from here. And he just eats tyre. Bang! Off it goes. Championship thrown away. A lot of work needing to be done. Just eating far too much off the curb. Trying to take such a tight line through there. Just boop. Pops the car right off. I press F5. There you go. Look at that. Beautiful. Eaten. Absolutely eaten. Just too much turning coming through the chicane. You can just see the tyres curving in just there. And boom. Off the Jamski popped. Coulson had such a moment in race 1 as well. Oh, really? In fact, because I like the race start so much, I'm going to try and get a photo of the absolute carnage and use it for my thumbnails going forwards, because it kind of sums up just there, just here, that one right there. Photo mode. Oh, what the hell? Oh, there we go. Perfect. Look at how perfect that is. That is literally the PNTCC in a nutshell. Love it. Oh, such good racing tonight. He was directly behind me in that moment. Oh, really? Oh, damn. But yeah, that's the PNTCC. All wrapped up. And that's all wrapped up from me. I hope you enjoyed yourself tonight. If you're racing it, watch it back. Honestly, across the whole field, it was such good racing tonight. Thank you ever so much for taking part. And I hope you all have a good Tuesday. And I'll see you on Wednesday for the Porsche series. Make sure you get yourselves signed up today and get some practice in, because Estoril, it's a tricky circuit. Until next time, over and out. Boop.